Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for April 1st, 2019. The show will give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. If you want to learn more about these stories, I'll put a link to each one we cover today in the show notes down below so you can read about them for yourself and make up your own decisions. Let me know what you think of each story. We'll love to hear from you. If you're new here though, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It helps us a lot by letting YouTube know you like what we do here. Hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still enjoy the shows you want to watch. If you've been here a while, ring that notification bell so you never miss one of our videos. First though, before we get into the news, we have a huge giveaway going on right now. We are celebrating both the 60th or 6-year anniversary of cutting the cord over here at the Bauma household and my beginning of posting about it online, along with the fact that we just hit 60,000 YouTube subscribers. A huge thank you to everybody who made that happen. Can't believe we hit that already, way ahead of when I thought would be happening. So to celebrate, we're giving away a 65-inch TCL 4K HDR Roku TV, their 6 Series one, which is our vote for the best TV under $1,000, a $100 Sling TV gift card, and an Antennas Direct antenna for your locals. Thank you to TCL, Sling, and Antennas Direct for donating to this giveaway. We really appreciate your support of the giveaway in our 6-year anniversary and 60,000 YouTube subscriber celebration. If you want to enter the giveaway, we'll have a link to it in the show notes below. There's multiple options to do it right now, including like following or joining our newsletter, following us on Twitter, and more. Now, you don't have to do all the options listed, but the more options you do, the more chances you get in the giveaway. So legal details, how to enter, in the show notes down below. All right, jumping on to the news today, DIRECTV Now has brought back their very popular Apple TV 4K deal. Right now, if you prepay for 4 months of DIRECTV Now, you can get a free Apple TV 4K 32GB. Typically retails at about $179 and change plus tax. Well, with this bundle, you can get one and 4 months of DIRECTV Now for $200 plus any taxes that may apply to where you live. Now, if you've been thinking about getting an Apple TV, this may be a great way to do it because not only do you get the Apple TV, but you also get 4 months of DIRECTV Now to watch ESPN and all the other content you may want to enjoy. Now, it is for the new Plus and Max packages, new subscribers only, all kinds of typical legal restrictions, but I have a link to it down in the show notes. Check it out. One question though. They've been doing this deals for a long time. Has anybody here ever taken advantage of the free Apple TV deal and gotten it? Leave us a comment. Let us know what your experience was, how long it took you to get that Apple TV from DIRECTV Now once you sign up for the deal. It does take a couple weeks, I believe, to receive the Apple TV, so just keep that in mind. But we'd love to hear from you if you ever actually got that deal and about how long it took to get the Apple TV. Next up, the HDHomeRun app has returned to the Amazon Fire TV App Store. This was removed about a month ago following the Omniverse lawsuit. So ACE, which is a group of media companies, sued Omniverse to say, hey, you don't have the right to do what you're doing. All these services like the HDHomeRun Premium TV service are not allowed. They're not covered in your contract or all that fun stuff that lawyers like to argue about. In response to this, Amazon pulled all the powered by Omniverse streaming services, at least the live TV ones, from the Fire TV App Store to our best of our knowledge, and the HDHomeRun app was pulled. Now, the downside to that is if you had a regular HDHomeRun device and you just wanted to stream your antenna or use your cable card, the Fire TV, you either had to sideload it or you were just out of luck if you were a new customer. You weren't able to find it in the Fire TV App Store anymore. Last week, HDHomeRun announced that they are terminating the HDHomeRun Premium TV live TV streaming service, and it's winding down as customers' bill expires. They're not being renewed. A few days after that, Amazon said, yep, we're putting your app back in the App Store. Not sure if it's directly related, but it is the sequence of events that happened getting here. Now, this is great news for Silicon Dust because the core of their business still is the hardware. It still is people buying antenna tuners, people buying tuners for cable cards and more to DVR and stream their antenna and other devices to your Fire TV, your phone, your tablets, and more. So getting back in the Amazon Fire TV App Store is huge for them, and will probably go a long way to help them continue to grow in the future. It's sad that we've lost one option for cord cutting, It'll be interesting to see if they come back with something else in the future. It'll be interesting to see if Omniverse wins this lawsuit, if Silicon Dust relaunches their premium TV service. We'll have to see what happens in the future. Silicon Dust has been rather vague in their future plans and what was the cause behind them shutting down this service. I'll put a link to their comment that they sent us in the show notes down below. All right, next story up. Sinclair is upgrading 90 TV stations for the new over-the-air TV standard, the ATSC 3.0. So what is ATSC 3.0? It's the next generation broadcast TV. It brings 4K picture, better range coverage. It's supposed to cover, with the same amount of power, cover a much larger area of the country around the transmitting towers, bring on-demand and all kinds of new features to your over-the-air antenna. Sinclair has announced in 27 markets they'll launch this year, but they've partnered with a company to supply transmitters for 90 stations. Now, not all of them will go live this year. Sinclair has said that they're, at this time, not willing to comment on which markets will go live first. So a lot of people ask, hey, well, Sinclair's upgrading this, but no devices at this time support the new 3.0 over-the-air TV standard. So what are they going to do? Well, in an interview earlier this year, Sinclair has announced that, yeah, they intend to launch in 27 markets by the end of this year. Probably in the second half of this year because of notification rules and other things they have to do. But in those markets, they will do their best to seed them with devices that will allow you to watch the new over-the-air TV standard, to get the 4K, the on-demand, the improved severe weather alerts, and more with it. So I'll have a link in the show notes that describes what 3.0 over-the-air TV is, beyond the fact that it's going to give you better signal, 4K TV for free, on-demand content, better weather alerts. There's other things like interactive news stories or interactive ads. So if you're watching the news, you could, in theory, click on a button on your screen and it'll pop up a web browser with more details about the news story, or maybe you see an ad for something, maybe a show coming to town, you want to buy tickets, you'll be able to do that right through your TV. So keep a close eye on this. It's really many people see as the future of over-the-air TV. Many companies are pushing hard. Sinclair's been one of the leaders in this, but other companies are also. And I'll put a link to that down below. And as we learn any markets that are going to get 3.0, I'll make sure to post about that over at corecarsnews.com. So make sure you're following the site every day. Next up, the BBC is joining Discovery's new streaming service. Yeah, so Discovery has for some time been talked about a $5 a month streaming service that will allow you to watch scripts and Discovery content. Now they've announced that they've struck a deal with the BBC Studios to bring BBC Studios educational programming, documentaries, and more to this new service. It sounds like this is not going to be scripted content. This is going to be unscripted, non-fiction based content that will probably run right alongside of what Discovery and Scripps has been doing already. Over in markets that don't include basically the greater UK area, Ireland, and so forth. And China won't be included in this. So once again, it goes back to the idea that Discovery's intended to be an international service, so around the world you'd be able to access it. In the United States, it will be more of an educational version of Netflix, and people have tried to call this it. The New York Post has reported that this service will cost less than $5 a month. So maybe $4 a month, $3 a month. We've heard that rumor for a while now, that you'll be able to subscribe to get Discovery, Scripps, and BBC Studios content. Some other parts of this deal, Discovery's taken over. They had a joint partnership for a couple stations in the UK. Discovery's taken out full ownership of them, and the BBC Studios is paying Discovery some money to cover some debts that they owed Discovery with this deal, apparently. I'll put a link to it in the show notes, but my question to you is, if you could get a huge catalog of TLC, HGTV, the Travel Channel, Discovery, and more content, the Science Channel, I love the Science Channel content, for $3 or $4 a month, plus some BBC Studio content, would that be worth it to you? $3 or $4 a month for all that content. You think about Discovery and Scripps is a huge lineup. I think about 15, 16 networks now. Don't count me on that. I haven't counted them. Somebody let me know if I got that wrong. But from my understanding, that's a huge lineup. Add in some BBC content, and they could have a very nice lineup of content for cord cutters at just a couple bucks a month. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the service, and check the story down below for full details. Now, we don't know exactly when it's launching. Reports are sometime in 2020, so we probably have about a year before that will happen. All right, last story of the day. This one I find very interesting. It got a lot of traction over the weekend, but Sony's chairman who has long been seen as one of the biggest supporters of PlayStation Vue over at Sony. He was the CEO during that time and even headed at one point the PlayStation division, or back then called the Sony Gaming division over at Sony. He's stepping down. A year ago he stepped down as CEO, and now he's stepping down as chairman to take an advisory role and pretty much be in retirement, probably come in a little bit here or there for advisory purposes. Now this has been a very nice orderly transition, but there's been some calls recently for PlayStation Vue to shut down. Some analysts have said, hey, you're being left in the dust by your competitors like DIRECTV Now, Sling, and YouTube TV and Hulu all reportedly now have more subscribers than PlayStation Vue. Sony has pushed back last year when those calls came out, saying, hey, there's valuable data we can get by having PlayStation Vue, seeing what people are watching, seeing what people are subscribing to, and more through PlayStation Vue. Now that the chairman's leaving, it once again raises the question of what's the future of PlayStation Vue. Sony has gone through these spurts where they're very aggressive, like they have been the last few months of supporting it. And then there's been times where you feel almost like PlayStation Vue is an afterthought and hasn't gotten the attention it deserves. Now, a lot of people over the weekend threw out ideas of, hey, hopefully that this means, they'll change the name. Maybe he's the person that's been holding back. Probably not. I doubt that he is the one person that's preventing them from changing the name from PlayStation Vue to maybe Sony Vue or Vue TVs, which is the one I would pick. Vue TV, I think, would get a lot more subscribers to address the constant question we get about, hey, I'd love to get PlayStation Vue, but I don't own a PlayStation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So the head of the PlayStation department, which was there when it launched, has left. The Sony CEO has left, and now the chairman has left. That were all the initial backers of PlayStation Vue. For now, it actually seems like Sony is doubling down and supporting PlayStation Vue. I do, though, believe if they really want PlayStation Vue to be as successful as it could be, dropping the name is the one thing they need to do. Sony has talked about for some time now launching internationally, adding 4K and other features, but in the last 2 years since that announcement was made, nothing's happened in that department. Recently, they partnered with the Apple TV and the Amazon Fire TV to better integrate PlayStation Vue into both devices. Is that the step of maybe things to come? I sure hope so, because I love to have the competition that PlayStation Vue brings. At the same time, it'll be very interesting to see if the calls for Sony to walk away from PlayStation Vue, if it doesn't see noticeable growth this year, may become stronger. So it'll be an interesting year for PlayStation Vue with a new leadership team surrounding it to come back and have to say, hey, we're here now, and we need to show growth this year if we're going to keep up with the Hulus and the YouTube TVs and the Sling TVs and DIRECTV Now even, who's recently lost a bit of subscribers, but still is well ahead of PlayStation Vue, according to all reports. So my question to you is two. A, do you use PlayStation Vue? Do you like it? Two, if you could change anything about PlayStation Vue, within reason, because we would all love everything to be free, what would you change to make PlayStation Vue a more successful device to get it back to where it used to be as one of the top 2 streaming services when it comes to live TV in the United States? What do you think it needs to do to jump Hulu, to jump YouTube TV, to jump DIRECTV Now, and get back up there with Sling TV as one of the most subscribed to live TV streaming services in the United States? I'd love to know what you think. All right, everybody, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great April Fool's Day. Keep an eye out for all those great April Fool's Day news stories that are popping up everywhere. I know Roku has their remote made for dogs. Philo is taking subscribers by fax machine if you want to fax in your subscription to Philo. And I'm sure there'll probably be a few others that pop up after I record this. So we'll see you tomorrow after all the April Fool's Day craziness has ended. Take care, everybody.